We've got some great speakers here tonight. Some of them, you may have heard of them, others you haven't, and that's what's special about this event. We've also got some great live music on the way. Our next speaker, Tom Truitt actually came to me, we were talking about how we would introduce him, and he said, he's a tireless warrior for his cause. And I love that. It's so true. Anyone who knows him will know what I'm talking about. He leads all aspects of the not-for-profit advocacy group, the Americana Music Association. He's executive producer of the Americana Music Festival and Conference, and the two-time regional Emmy award-winning Americana Honors and Award Show. During his tenure, he has raised the genre's profile exponentially, yielding 3 categories for Americana artists at the Grammy Awards. The inclusion of the musical term Americana in Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and most recently, the recognition and creation of Americana sales charts in Billboard magazine and the official charts in the United Kingdom. Please make some noise for Nashville's own Jed Hilly.
Fashion consultant told me Blue Moon, so Bud Light would have been a Nashville thing, but I went with Blue Moon. Hi everybody, it's really a pleasure to be here. I've been following Who Knew for several months and wondering how do I get in touch with those people. That's a cool thing, and it is a cool thing, and I applaud you all for attending and learning from some of these incredible people. I've had a great career in the world of Americana, and I feel really, really fortunate. Before I took this position 10 years ago, this is the completion of my first decade, I lived in New York, and it was a great city, and I lived there for 18 years, and there's no way in the world I could have had as much fun up there doing what I do. No way I could have done what I do today. Nashville is the place to be, and if you all live here, you know why. So I'm glad I'm here. Americana, if you don't know, we produce Americana Fest, which is the annual festival and conference. It's grown in 10 years from, maybe we had 791 registrants in 2006, and we had more than 20,000 attendees last year, and that's been an incredible thing to watch happen, and to be a part of, and a humbling community to be a part of. It started in 1999, really a reaction to the commercial country world that was ignoring artists like Roseanne Cash, Katie Lang, Dwight Yoakam, Rodney Crowell, and it was intended to shine a light on those artists who otherwise would not be heard. Today, I think the Americana community is heard well, is heard loudly, is heard in everything from TV commercials. I saw a Dawes track during the NBA Finals. I mean, that was just cool. That's where it came from, and that's how it's grown. The organization is an artist advocacy group. In addition to producing the festival, I think what I'm most proud of is that these artists trust us, and when we make an ask of them to do something, they attend, they show up. They show up on their own dime, because we are really a not-for-profit music association. We're not South by Southwest, we're not CMJ, we don't have Samsung stages, we don't have four-story Dorito bags on 2nd Avenue. That's very deliberate, and in some ways and that's a great challenge that I have today, is how do we continue to grow and to prosper by keeping our integrity? Feel free to shoot me down. There are certainly times when I deserve to be, but by and large, I promise you that my intention is to maintain the integrity so the artists feel comfortable, and we work hard to provide A-level services for them when they do show up. What do you guys want to know about? I mean, you can look up AmericanaMusic.org, go look it up. buy a conference registration, come experience what I think is the most comprehensive music education conference. T-Bone Burnett will be our keynote speaker this year. We'll address issues from Touring 101 for the artist to Maria Palente, who is the registrar in the Office of Copyright, an extremely important individual in Washington, D.C., will be attending our event to discuss the prevalent copyright issues of our time today. We are not afraid to stand up for the Songwriter Equity Act. We are not afraid to stand up for fair play, fair pay, which was introduced by Congressman Nadler last year. It is insane to me that Aretha Franklin never made a dime off of terrestrial radio for RESPECT. I do not understand why that is the case. We are one of 3 or 4 nations, including North Korea, China, and Iran, that does not pay the artist, and that is shameful. It's political season. I'm competing with Donald frickin' Trump right now. And I'm really glad to see you all here. I know your priorities. But when Tom asked me, he said, oh crap. He said, Jed, oh crap, you gotta push the right arrow. So this, oh, is it working? Somebody pushed it for me? I didn't even know. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so these are some of our friends that we get to play with in the Americana world. But when Tom asked me, he was like, you know, this is all about who knew. So how many listened to the radio, my little radio interview yesterday? A couple? Okay, good. I'm glad most of you don't, or didn't. It was really fun. I was hanging with Tom and Lieutenant Dan, but Tom made me tell a story about getting a word in the dictionary. And you know, what I'm most proud of is the advocacy work that the Americana Music Association does. We've gotten 3 Grammy categories in that now Americana artists can submit for. It's a slate. It's comparable to other slates from other genres. We've gotten, this year was incredible. It was really, really fun to convince the official charts company. They are the equivalent of Nielsen in the United Kingdom. And I had several meetings with them last summer and convinced them that it was time to have an Americana sales chart. So it was great when that was launched and I was able to call New York and my good friends at Billboard, who are magnificent, and say, why is it that the United Kingdom recognizes Americana and you don't? So that led to a lot of conversations, and it's been really cool to see artists like the Lumineers and Sturgill Simpson and most recently the Avett Brothers leading the pack with the #1 position on the Billboard album sales chart. That's where Americana has come from 10 years ago. But my fun story was I had gone through several interviews. I used to work for Mrs. Orbison, God bless Barbara, before I took this job. And Barbara was amazing and fantastic, but she wasn't going to give me a piece of her publishing. So I had to figure something else to do. And these wonderful people from the Americana Music Association invited me to come and be the executive director. And like a good child, I went home and talked to my dad. We have a farm in Vermont, and I was up there, and I basically said, you know, hey, Pop, I think this is really cool. It's 50% of my current salary, but I think it has opportunity. And he said, what is Americana? And now I don't even have to answer that question because I know that you all know. And by and large, I think that last statement was true. But anyway, I said, well he said, is the word in the dictionary? And it was a really good question. So we pulled out our Merriam-Webster's dictionary in the house, and there was jazz, and there was rock and roll, and there was country, but Americana didn't exist. And Pop, I wouldn't take the job. So, being a good son, I decided to take the job. Take the 50% pay cut, subsequently got divorced. That was a joke. True story, but a joke. My first week on the job in March of 2007 was I had an intern named Mary Beth, and I said, Mary Beth, find out what we got to do to get this word in the dictionary. So she wrote an email to info@merriam-webster.com and said, what do we got to do to get a word in the dictionary? And we got this lengthy response from somebody there, Anna Bello. She was an editor at Merriam-Webster's. And she explained that you cannot lobby for a word in the dictionary. Please do not start a petition. Please do not write us again. Since 1848, we are the most prestigious American English dictionary, and we don't need your help in determining what word should be in the dictionary. So, there was Americana, that which is intrinsically American, but there was no musical term. So I clicked on my little Outlook email box every 3 months to write them 4 times a year. And I had the little scheduling alert, write Merriam-Webster. And so I would. And I would send a note first back to Anna Bello. About 18 months into that correspondence, I got a delivery return message, email undeliverable. So I wrote back to info@merriam-webster.com, and I got a new editor at Merriam-Webster's who told me the same thing. They've got 8 people every day analyzing vernacular, and then, anyway, long and the short of it was I wrote them, and I told them, I said, hey, did you see this article in the New York Times by John Perales talking about Levon Helm's ramble at the Ryman as the ultimate Americana music experience? Hey, did you see Holly Gleason's piece in Hits describing this as Americana? And I did this repeatedly to the point where one day Whitney Holmes, who works with me and is in the house, came into my office in the summer of 2011 and said, Jed, there's some guy from Merriam-Webster on the phone. And he was the managing editor of Merriam-Webster, and he said, I thought you should be first to know that the musical term Americana will be entered in the 15th Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So I have no idea how much time. Do I have 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Okay. So I feel like Ted Cruz going over the line. I wish you all to vote your conscience. But the message I share with all of you, Megan backstage asked me, what's the message out there? And it's, the music business is not for the faint of heart, and it's not for the lack of passion. And if you have those traits, don't get in it. Be committed, love what you do, love the music, love the artists, and I will just share with you, an Americana artist is not writing a song for a #1 hit. An Americana artist is writing a song to tell a story through music in the best way they can. And that's what's got legs. Thank you.
Hey, how about that story, folks? That's exactly what we wanted Hoodoo right there. Jed, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. But the reason I asked him to stay on the stage here, as I said at the top of the show, we've got our first giveaway of the night. Who would like to go to the Americana Music Festival? Who would like to go to the entire thing? By the way, are these wristbands inclusive of the awards? Sir, sorry. All right. So you're going in style. You're just not going in that much style. So our first tweeter with passion tonight, leveraging what you just said, is a young lady named Melinda Hudgens. Melinda, come on up here, please.
I tell you, you're gonna love getting to go to the conference. Well, I was telling them actually, Jed, but I can tell you too that I loved going to the conference. Here's the thing: is that people come from all over the world. It's important enough for like thousands of people all over the world to come here and go to the conference, and it's right in our backyard. So take advantage. We live in the best city on the planet, especially in the middle of the Americana conference, and so it's definitely a great time. I almost said honors and award show, which is, if you can get a ticket to it, you should go to that because it's special. In fact, I realized not everyone even knows what goes down there, and they have like 16 artists, 20 artists,
yeah.
And most of them come out and do one song. If you're a heavy hitter, maybe you get to do 2, On occasion. If you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or if you're really special, you get to do 2. So you get to see one song by all these artists, and it's very special. It's like going to an ice cream store and getting to try 20 different flavors of ice cream. Just a little scoop. It's pretty nice.
That's great.
Oh, Melinda, all right. Congrats.
You're done. All right.
He's done, but we're not done. There's a lot more to come.